Hello, this is Heather Close from Littleton Farm, and in this video I'm going to talk a bit about Cocksfoot grass and run through a little grazing trial we ran in January. From what I've read and heard, Cocksfoot is a bit like Marmite. You either love it or hate it, and that's assuming you've even heard of it. On the one hand, it grows quickly, starting early in the year, and is more nutritious than ryegrass. It has deep roots which help break up compacted soil, improve the water cycle, build humus, and provide drought resistance. On the other hand, it becomes fibrous, clumpy, and less palatable pretty quickly. A bit like this or this. Just the other day I saw our bulls eat rushes in preference to Cocksfoot that had gone tufty and coarse. In the growing season they will take maybe a bite or two when pushed, but will eat the grass and clover around it down to the ground in preference. The secret with Cocksfoot apparently is to seed it densely, often in a mix with clovers and chicory, and to graze it down hard. Now our fields are permanent pasture, and so the Cocksfoot that has appeared must have been in the seed bank. We did not sow it. It is patchy and uneven. We have no plans to reseed to make the stand more dense, and so instead we're going to see what happens when we mob graze it at highish densities. This is a 1 hectare paddock that we grazed over 6 days, with a single move the first day and twice daily moves after that. This equated to a density of 120,000 kilograms per hectare. When they went in, the grass was like this: green on the top and yellow underneath. The field was last grazed in mid-July. As you can see, the grass has been eaten right down, including all the Cocksfoot tufts. The benefits of this non-selective approach, according to Jamie Elizondo, are that A, as the cows are forced to eat both the green and the yellow grass, this balances their rumen, and we have noticed that their manure looks pretty good. All plants are eaten back to the same height, and so those with better solar panels leaves should perform better than narrower leaved, generally less palatable plants. And finally, while the leaves produce energy through photosynthesis, the stems use up energy through respiration, which in the non-growing season means they are depleting the root reserves. So by leaving fewer stems, the roots should have more energy available come spring to encourage growth. We're looking forward to see what happens when spring arrives, as this is the first time we've tried it in the non-growing season. So while we achieved a grazing level that Jamie would be happy with, I think, we weren't too sure how our cows were coping with it. It's the first time we pushed them that hard in winter. They seemed fine, but we weren't sure if we were asking too much. So we decided to increase the size of the paddocks for the remainder of the field. This meant that they were now grazing at a density of about 100,000 kilograms per hectare. And with less grazing pressure they have, of course, left the Cocksfoot tufts. This means that come spring we can compare the grazing in the first hectare with a high density against the second hectare, and we'll be interested to see how the Cocksfoot performs when having been grazed down.